say somebody in here finds a tract of land or a single lot. What are y'all looking for when you're thinking about buying a property that can be built on?
Call me 615-788-6996. I will pay you. Yes, realistically, going from putting a sign in the house, you guys need to think about, hey, you guys, we've got either new construction or resales. But before that, we need to identify raw land. And either it's going to require infrastructure, horizontal improvements and developments, or there's a capacity to subdivide without it. We need those opportunities brought, and I'm looking at assets and resources. Anything that you guys know, I feel like someone in here might have something. I mean, bring it, let us know about it, we'll pre-qualify it.
So, area willing to do tear downs and build two, nothing too big. What's the biggest?
I don't know. Well, I don't know what Hal's appetite is. I mean, 100 acres less is kind of a good desirable point for me, because remember that crystal ball, whether you've got phase 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, I don't want to be leveraged out for 10 years. The sweet spot, 50 acres is kind of where I'm at. And it doesn't matter if it has a house on it. It doesn't matter. That's stuff that we can work through. And again, I'll tell you guys, I'll enlist if somebody here has something, man, let me know. We will take a good qualified look at it, and discount and pay you guys. I mean, that's what it's about, retail or more. Our business is driven, I've got to continually be prospecting and looking for land. I've got to stay ahead of my team, because if I don't, my machine slows down and runs out. So I've got to continually fill that pipeline and backfill. So if projects take 3 years from identifying to delivery, I've got to have multiple in that pipeline.
Anything different there, Hal?
Not really. I've got a tract of land right now. It's a little over 100 acres. And the last time I figured the math on that, the cost of the land, the cost of the infrastructure, the design of that, the approval process, the letters of credit to do it, and then the cost of going vertical, building a product, it's going to be pushing like $13 million before I have my first home sale. That's a lot, I mean, it's so, again, it kind of, that's where you try to bring in partners, you try to bring in other buyers builders that want to possibly buy lots. So I mean, when you get to that size, 100 acres, it's a lot. So I mean, certainly smaller tracts are just going to be easier to choke down. You're going to have an appetite for more of that. But I mean, the topo is a big deal in this area. It seems like rock is obviously a huge factor for this area. But again, until you look at it, you just don't. You really kind of, every piece is unique. It's different. So. Like Jordan said, I would just bring it to us, let us look at it, and we'll tell you what we think.
Yeah. And kind of piggyback on that, not necessarily for you guys, but if an agent would like to list and hey, they bring the land and maybe it's to you guys or to a different builder, I mean, how do they go about earning those listings and say, hey, I've got land, it's not on the market, I've got this, my granddad's selling something. How would they go and become a listing agent? Because that could be life-changing for an agent to say, hey, I'm going to list 50 houses next year or 2 years from now when we get them ready to go.
Absolutely. I think it just takes time. That is the truth. Have realistic expectations, because again, it's relationships, and you want to be working with someone that obviously is like-minded, has the same values as you do. But that is an excellent idea. I mean, bring opportunities. Don't send all the good stuff, to one person and then expect, the builder to recognize that and not have an opportunity. So anytime you see an opportunity, say, hey, this is what I see, this is what I think, would you have interest? And be honest, just say, hey, I'd love to have the opportunity to work with you. And what does that look like? Any needs you have right now, what can I do? Here's my strengths, here's what I'm good at, here's the direction I'm going. If that fits you or anything you're doing, please let me know, and then just stay in contact.
If it is a project that requires infrastructure and development, just setting the expectations that we said earlier, the runway can be from identifying it to doing due diligence, feasibilities, and approvals is long, and that's just where it's at. I wish we could expedite it, but we can't. If there's a land opportunity that's out there, I feel like a lot of the grand slams or the home runs are ones that aren't on the MLS or aren't getting listed. If you're Memorial Day weekend and Cousin Johnny talks about relocating, and he's got a farm here, or so, I think that's really the wins and the successes, is to, hey, we've got something, we'll take a look at it. We want to pay on, the land opportunity, the house opportunity. It comes with trust and with time and with relationships, but we'll definitely make sure that everybody's taken care of on the front end, and then evaluate, what is going to be realized on that opportunity on the second bite of the apple.
Awesome.